So the iPhone 14 pre-orders has passed and now we are all waiting for that release date, September 16th. You can still pre-order the iPhone 14 Pro, but you're gonna be waiting for a little while, or mid-October to be exact. So I just want to talk about the iPhone 14 Pro and which one did I decide to go with. But before we get into that, make sure you guys click on that subscribe button. We are getting so close to 200,000 subscribers. We at 199,000 to be exact. So be the cool guy or cool girl and subscribe. Let's make this happen. We're getting so close. Now, as a channel tradition, I tend to get all the iPhone colors. Then last year, I did it again, and you guys seem to enjoy the video even more because I'm always looking for ways to improve the content. So this year is no exception. I picked up all the iPhone 14 colors for both the Pro and the regular iPhone 14 just to help you guys decide which color you should go with. And I only picked up one color for the Plus, but that's not going to be here until October 7th. That's the initial release date. When you get all these phones, you can only activate one phone at a time. So it gotta be a phone that I gotta pick one. Last year, I decided to go with the Sierra Blue. It was the new color. This is the 256GB variant, and this is just a regular iPhone 13 Pro. So this year, I'm going with a Pro model phone, of course. You got the dynamic island, you got more Pro features, Pro motion, etc. But I'm gonna be going with the Pro Max variant just because 2 years of having a 6.1-inch iPhone Pro phone, I think now it's time to go back to the Pro Max. I haven't used a Pro Max phone since the iPhone 11 Pro Max, so it's time. It is actually time to go back to the Pro Max. I'm a tech guy, so I have an iPad mini that can fit in my pocket, so I take that with me. I have other devices to keep me entertained if I need more screen real estate. And the battery life, it didn't really bother me on the Pro because the battery life did increase on this year's model. It ergonomically just fits better in my hand. I have small hands, or maybe medium-sized hands, so the smaller phone just makes sense for me. And especially now I'm going to the gym, I'm going here, I'm going there, so having a bigger phone sometimes can be a little bit of a cumbersome, but I'm willing to make the change back to the Pro Max just for change. And another reason why I'm going with the Max model this year, dynamic island. For example, if you're listening to music, you can swipe up and then the album artwork pops in with the pill-shaped cutout, the dynamic island, and you could be able to see, useful information. It's kind of like a secondary display. It's really cool on how Apple implemented this pill-shaped cutout. They made it an actual feature. That's why I want to go with the Max, because you have more screen real estate. Because believe it or not, dynamic island is actually larger than the notch. But one thing I could say, be prepared to get used to this design, because I think we're going to see it next year on the iPhone 15 on all models. So we're going to see it on the base regular iPhone 15 and on the Pro models. Very similar to what happened back in 2017, where Apple showed off the iPhone 10, this brand new iPhone design with that notch. And alongside with that, they showcased the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. Yeah, so if you wanted that notch, a new design, the iPhone 10 was the one to get. And literally a year after that, that's when we had the 10s, the 10s Max, and the 10R, and all the iPhones had that notch cutout. So rest assured that we will see dynamic island on all iPhones next year. I'm hoping that we get Type-C. Apple is a type to make the Type-C only for the Pros, but yeah, we gotta wait and see. That's a whole year. And the bigger battery life is going to help tremendously, because believe it or not, I use my iPhone as an overhead or to shoot some B-roll. I'm doing more things on my phone than ever before. Going back to the iPhone 12 Pro with the smaller phone, I noticed the battery life was literally like it was blowing through, because that's when Apple made the battery smaller, and then they implemented 5G. That was literally the worst battery life on an iPhone that I ever owned. And then with the 13, they increased the milliamp capacity, and it was an improvement, but it's nowhere near as my 11 Pro Max. And in terms of capacity, I decided to go with 512 this year. And if you guys follow me on Twitter, I did confirm this by saying that my next phone will have at least 512 gigabytes or higher, because 256 gigabytes used to be the sweet spot. I've been rocking out with 256 gigabytes since 2017, and it was cool. But ever since when Apple revealed Apple Pro Raw, those pictures take up a lot of space. And back in those days, I had 128 gigabytes, not knowing how much space this would take. And the iPhone 13 Pro, Apple implemented the ProRes. For anyone who's saying, oh, just delete some pictures or videos, here's the thing. Every single iPhone, I started off brand spanking new. I don't back up my phone and then carry everything over. I don't do that. It's a new phone, so everything should be new. Any old photos or anything like that, I mean, fine, keep a backup, always have it on your computer, but it's a new phone, so I want everything new. I don't want no old pictures that I took from last year's iPhone. I want to be able to have everything new. That's just the person I am. And the fact how I almost used the entire 256 gigabytes is pretty insane. So yeah, 512 is an absolute must for me. And right now I have 10 gigabytes left. Yes, I could probably rock out with another 256 gigabytes, but you guys gotta understand this. Apple introduced Apple ProRes at 48 megapixels. So the video size and the picture size is gonna be even bigger. So it makes sense to go with 512, at least 512 this year for me. But nonetheless, I'm gonna see how 512 is gonna work out for me. Hopefully it'll be enough space, and hopefully it'll be like the sweet spot. And what absolutely baffles my mind is Apple's trade-in program. So you could trade in your iPhone and you could save a couple of dollars towards your next iPhone. That's cool, but it don't matter your storage capacity. You could have had an iPhone 13 Pro Max 1 terabyte and traded in, you're still gonna get $700. That's why I get into storage. It's maybe for longevity. Somebody like me who's upgrading every year should get the base model, but I can't do the 128 no more, man. I can't. And I saved the best for last, the color options. This one is a little tricky for me. I absolutely love the sleekness of the space black. It's not that jet black that we used to see on the iPhone 7, but that space black looks sleek. I actually was watching some hands-on videos on it, and that is the iPhone that looks so sleek. Last year I was deciding between either graphite or Sierra Blue, and as we know, I went with the Sierra Blue just because it was the newer color. And I think that's the problem. Since the deep purple is the new color, that's the one that everybody's gonna get. And the thing is with Apple's new colors, this might be controversial to say, they just don't age well sometimes. So right now, when you look at the Sierra Blue, you know that's the iPhone 13 Pro. That's cool. But as a couple of months roll around, you're gonna see everybody with the same phone. Everybody has that same color. So if you get a different color, that would look pretty sick. And that space black, believe it or not, is a very popular color option too as well. But I think a lot of people are going to go with that deep purple no matter what because it's a new color. At first, I had my mind set on that deep purple. Then I started looking at the space black and I was like, oh, that's pretty clean too. And then as time went on, I noticed Apple changed up the silver this year. So it's not like this cream white. It's like an actual white. So I gotta see how that look in person. For me, it's either gonna be space black or deep purple. The 14 color comparison is actually gonna help me decide which color to go with too as well. So and that's why I make that video, just to see how it looked from outside to inside, kind of give you different lighting situations, just to help you guys decide on which color. That's why I make these videos, just to help you guys decide. So that's gonna be my personal iPhone of choice, the Pro Max 512, either between the space black or the deep purple. I gotta wait for my video. Before I even end out this video, I just want to throw some tidbits. The removal of the SIM card tray on the iPhone is gonna be a nightmare for some people. That's gonna be a deal breaker for some people who travel internationally, and it bothers me because I actually have a SIM card. I have a SIM card right here. So this same exact SIM card I use to activate like my iPads, or I put it into my Android devices. Sometimes I use that for testing. So now if I'm testing out all these iPhones, it's gonna make testing a lot difficult. That eSIM, now you gotta call up your carrier, now you gotta get a QR code. It's just a nightmare. It's one of those features where Apple didn't need to remove, but I think they removed it because they can, and they claim because it's a security issue, you could lose your SIM card. But my thing is, what if you travel internationally? Like, everybody now is traveling, right? And you know how it is when you're traveling. It's different carrier services. I think that right there turned a lot of people off. And it's only for the US. That's the petty thing about it. It's only for the US, while other countries, They get the more superior version of the iPhone 14. And yeah, let me know down in the comments down below, did you pre-order the iPhone 14? If so, which model? The Pro, the Plus, the Max? Let me know. Make sure you guys click on that red subscribe button. We're getting so close to 200,000 subscribers. Drop a like on this video for the YouTube algorithm. And thank you guys so much for watching.